Who knows if we're on, gang? I don't know. We'll see if we're back in here.
Yeah, that's not sharing. That's okay. So double click on the Mac OS thing, and then go into display capture.
Let's just do
there
that.
You go.
Let's just do that.
Okay. All right. So now what you want to do is you want to resize that window.
This one?
No, on OBS. And what you can do is like you don't have to have the whole thing in there. You can kind of just have a portion of it, and then you can have like your chat and stuff on the outside. So just pull up YouTube and place YouTube where you want it on the screen.
That seems fine.
And then, are you on a trackpad?
No, I'm just on people.
Yeah, you can do it like that too. There you go. And then you can move the OBS to the outside.
Let's make that smaller.
There you go. You can kind of move the window off a bit too as well. But I think... Yeah,
Welcome back to episode 2.
Oh, God. Sorry.
That's me.
Yeah, it says that you're live.
It says I'm live?
Yeah.
All right. There we go.
Yay. You're live.
And
You
then,
did it. You did it.
I'm screwing everything up. I'll go a little bit bigger on there. Where's my... Uh-oh. There it is. Okay. I think I've got a good setup on here. Hopefully I look okay on here. I don't know.
You can't even see you.
Oh,
so it's
well,
fine.
it doesn't even matter. Yeah. So we are in here. Ian, do you want to start going through some stuff, and then we'll just see who does what?
Yeah, so the purpose of this stream was to just take a look at a couple of videos, either some stuff we have already set up or like premeditated, some stuff we are hoping that we get some people to submit some YouTube links to or something. And we're kind of just going to do what we usually do in our profession, which is look at some movement and give our thoughts on it and some critiques or some praises and kind of just like geek out over really the physical, phenomena that the humans can do. We have quite a few videos already set up. I think that Seafood Joel has some that he was looking at. I have some that I was looking at as well already. And we'll probably just start with those until we get some submissions.
Yeah, I want to pull out, wow, crazy. Look, everybody can see all these things in my pictures. I want to go desktop. I'm going to pull this up. These are a couple of, hopefully this pulls up. I'm going to make this great big. This is one of my, this is a young man that I worked with discus, and his name is Connor, and he's from Oklahoma, and I worked with him and his brother. Both of them became state champions. They very likely would have been state champions anyway, but come through. This is a slow motion. I got all these from their dad, and kicking a slow-mo. So you see, boom, and then...
You move that just a little bit higher.
There you go.
Screen.
Yeah, I can. I'm going to track through this. This is really cool. For me, this is really cool because as you see him go through, and we worked a lot on this, on the idea of gaining
distance. Joel.
Yep.
It's still not in screen.
Oh, it's not. Oh, do I need to be? Hold on. Is that in screen?
I can only see. Hold on, I'm trying to catch up.
Oh, maybe I made it too big.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit too big.
A little bit too big for the spot. Oh, let me pull it right up here.
So move it, move it a little bit over to the left. There you go.
Okay. All right. Sorry. Again, we're trying to figure this out. I got a new system on here. We're trying to figure the whole thing out so we can do multiple things. So distance, time, and being able to accelerate using centrifugal force, being able to put a lot of things we talk about as engines, and you see this all the time. And what Connor I did with him was take all the same ideas that we do for what I do in Jeet Kune Do, and you see, so he's going to load up. He's way over here. He's got it held in there, and he's going to then he's pushing his hips back, and he's falling into it. So he's starting to use gravity, and he's getting centrifugal force. He's getting the rotation into it, and there's the first one. He's throwing himself into this thing, and then accelerating. And one of the things that he started doing, now they don't want to fall out afterwards. Move my little player button out. There's a big thing is if you fall out of the little circle there, then it doesn't count. So they want to fall out. But a lot of people just throw. But look how much movement he's getting and acceleration, and he's still rotating through. And I just thought it was a really cool thing to just move through as he's coming in here. Just watch how far that discus moves. Oops, that was really fast. Sorry, everybody.
So I guess looking at this is one thing, but why is this important, and how is this reflective towards what we do, and how does it influence? Yeah, like
because it's always shaping kinetic energy. Everything we do is shaping kinetic energy. We are creating and manipulating our own kinetic energy for some form of expression. Whether it's martial arts or dance or sport, this expression is an expression of kinetic energy that hurls a discus out. So as he comes in here, how much does he get to travel to do that? And that's one of the things for me is looking at everything. How do we get that to work? Oops, not what I wanted. Sorry, popping the wrong thing, gang.
So not just that, but it's really important to be able to notice how, well, really mechanics of things. That's, I think, a really hot term that people in the JKD world use, or people in general use, of, oh, the mechanics. But unless if you sit down and you take the time to really watch and break down what is shaping kinetic energy, what is generating the power, and where does it go and how does it flow, it impacts anything athletic that you're trying to do, whether it be through weightlifting or whether it be through, for somebody like me trying to do backflips and stuff, or for getting better at your punches. And so when we look at all these things, or we look at punching, or we look at, throwing or whatever, our eyes are constantly using a filter to try to say, okay, well, how are we judging this technique, and how are we judging what this person is doing? Because you can see it if you know the movement. You can see it if you know the mechanics of how the human body works.
Yeah, and we're always trying to go out. I'm pulling up one. The more you understand how to shape your own kinetic energy and how that interacts with another person and with the world around you, whether it's a ball, a discus, a mat. I pulled up the wrestling one here that I just found, which is a really great example of these young men going. This is cool. I'm just going to go from the very beginning of this.
Can you make it smaller so that way you guys?
Is it showing a bit better? Sorry about that, gang. Boom. Sorry, it popped up a bit bigger. There we go. So, and this is DPS breakdown. So absolutely go subscribe to them. And it's two people, and they're wrestling in here. And
can you also copy the link and post that in chat?
Oh yeah, I think I can.
So that way we can at least give them credit, and that way people can look on their own if they want to kind of do those things as well.
It's a great idea. So here we go. Paste. Boom. Definitely do go. There it is. So that's the first one right here. We're going to look at the beginning part. I think they go into some stuff, and you're welcome to do that. We're just going to look into ours. Okay, so watch this exchange. So he comes around, all right, and that's a takedown. And then this is a Granby roll right here. So the guy in the purple is going to do the Granby, and watch, he's going to throw himself over, and then he's able to have the spatial awareness to get into it, and it gets a pin. That means he wins the match. So if we go back in here, they are 4-4. Actually, I don't think that in the rules here, they don't have control. He doesn't have control in here. We'll see. Sorry, just load slowly. So coming in, they're tied. That guy comes around. He doesn't quite have the takedown. He's trying to get control. Oh, there's the dude for the takedown. And then that would be a reversal. It's just a crazy, crazy move, and shown at a very high level. That's their channel doing it, backing it up, which looks crazy there, and they're going through it. So he's going to shoot back because they got some nice good slow-mo already in here, so channel looks like it's a really good one. Comes around. I did something similar to this when I wrestled in high school, and coming all around, that's a heck of a lot. I was a skinny little scrawny wrestler kid. And that arm right there is catching him and slowed down. I blocked mine out, but I also wasn't going in the NCAA championship, so there you go. They got a little bit of back and forth on this. That's a little bit too much for me. Ian, you have the other ones. I'm going to pull some of those up. You sent me a whole bunch of those links.
Yeah, they're in your text messages.
We're going to do the first one first.
So what's interesting about the Granby roll as well, while he's pulling that up, is that there is this commitment aspect of it where you know and trust that the person is trying to hold on to you for dear life. And because their balance points are connected to yours, you can essentially flip your entire body over them onto that roll that flips them over because they're attached. And that's kind of like why it's important to look at these, because that's how mechanics of throwing works in the first place.
Yeah, it's never going to be just like, oh, I'm doing it and no one's doing anything back. If you're doing something by yourself, that's one thing. If you're doing something with another person where the manipulation has to happen, you have to factor that in. So the factoring in of somebody else is important. So let's go through this. I haven't seen this one, so I don't know what this is. This is one that Ian just sent me. The dumbest side control escape. Let me see if I can pull this up. Copy. Yeah, because we do want to give the next one.
Yeah. Can you also put it in frame for us?
Oh, is it not? Oh. Where do I need to move?
And if you look on OBS.
Oh, there we go. Sorry.
Yeah.
Can you see it now? Can you see all of it, or is it partly out of frame?
What you see in OBS is what we see.
Wow.
So if it's not within that frame, then we don't see it.
Can I make this frame bigger is what I'm wanting to do. Oops.
So what you want to do is just click on the screen on there, and then hold Shift. You see how you're highlighting the red box? So drag it over to the side till you find the edge. Yeah, on the window.
All right, sorry for all this. All right, so I'm going to click on there. Oh, what am I doing with the red line?
You're going to move it until you see the edge. So move it off screen until you start to see like the corner of it. Sorry, like towards the side.
Oh, that way?
There you go. Now grab the corner and hold Shift or hold Option, and then you can scale it like that. And then you don't want to make it too small, but just kind of downsize it and then reframe it, and then downsize it and reframe it, and then you can find what works best for you.
Oh, wow, it's way over here.
That's okay. Yay! Teaching Sifu Joel how to use OBS.
Yay! Oh, look at that. Oh, look at there we go.
Yeah.
And that is going to help us get into... Oh, that goes that way. I don't want to do that.
Yeah, so what I would do is make it just bigger than where your chat window is. So that way your chat window is out of frame. And then you can just use the left side of your screen.
But it only fit here. There we go.
There you go. Just keep dragging it over to the side. And keep going, keep going, keep going. And yeah, there you go. You're only going to have to do this one time, so thankfully.
Oh, I think we're in there now.
Nice.
How does that look? We look okay now?
Yeah, looks good.
All right, craziness of this. So, and this is another thing. So I'm doing this with freaking trying to figure out a new OBS program on my computer. But it's kind of the same thing you have to do when you're discovering these movements. You have to understand stuff, and then you have to then work on it a little bit more to figure out how to get everything sort of sorted.
There you go. Looks good.
A lot of trial and error and a lot of figuring it out, and then like, oh crap, I forgot it, and doing it again. So let's see this one. That's interesting because that is using. Oh, am I going to build a? All right, so because it's a short, I don't have as much control. So it's going to come over. He is. If we stop him for a second, so the guy on top is on hands and knees. It's an interesting one because it's following the wrestling thing. If you think about, he's got a base. He's like a table, right? Two arms, two legs. He's got a base underneath him. So what you want to do for wrestling for a top position is you want to do a breakdown, and usually you're going to block out one side knee and the same side arm, and then pull them over. You're going to rotate them over so that they can tumble. And then what this guy seems to be doing is doing that, but from the bottom. So he's there. He's going to block out. So wrestling would block out the leg. I would usually do that. If I was on top, I would do it with my knee, and then my elbow would come and grab, or my hand would come grab where his head is, and he's trapping that down, and then I would have to pull over, and he's just driving over. It's basic physics, and what he's doing there is he's reworking the problem from a different angle. So in wrestling, we might do that. Sorry, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, it's in his description. He's saying that he's locking the knee with his right arm, and then he's trying to hug the opponent's shoulder with his neck, and then he's going to pull and hip thrust while he's using his left arm to pull them over.
I can't type either. There we go. Wrestling breakdown.
And so the reason why that works is because you are taking two balance points and essentially toppling your opponent over. But the key to it is that you have to anchor point, or like create anchor points with those two balance points in order for the lever to happen, because otherwise they'll just flatten out and drop all of their balance points right on top of you.
Yeah. I'm trying to see breakdowns. I just want to go John Smith because he's John Smith. If you don't know who John Smith is, pretty freaking awesome.
And if you guys have comments as well, we would like to know. We have live chat pulled up. If you guys want us to take a look at stuff, then we're more than happy to. We're just looking at kind of things, and like this is our first stream to get going and talk about movement and stuff. But we will look at some JKD stuff here in a bit. But
yeah,
what we're really just trying to do is have a conversation and be like, oh, well, this is why this works. This is why this doesn't work.
So this guy on top is in the orange shirt is John Smith. Now he was wrestling out of Oklahoma State, the Cowboys, OSU Cowboys, when I was in high school, and he was NCAA champion, Olympic champion, world champion. So he's just kind of going into that stuff. So there you see the guy's on bottom. They got a base. He's describing about it's all in there. I want to see. He gets into some basic ones. He's talking about different ways. So the whole idea is to, Ian, can everybody see everybody can see my cursor. So the whole idea is to break that person down flat, because if they're flat, they're easier to work on. And he's just going into leverage. A lot of leverage.
Can you reorient though? so that way they're in center frame. Because right now the top of the video is cut off.
That's actually.
And again,
there we go.
you can use OBS to kind of check and see what it looks like in screen.
Okay, I think we're good. Oh yeah, so I was doing something different with that.
That's all good.
We're not going to go into it, but in the world of wrestling, if you wanted to, all right, now he's getting into breakdowns. So this is a spiral breakdown. So you're seeing he's got the knees, the hands. The guy on bottom is really good at maintaining this because he wants to get up or move. He's got applying pressure and then spiraling through, cutting out, attacking this one and attacking the other one, creating. And in wrestling, you do all of this stuff. Let's see if he's got any other ones or if he's just doing the spiral. I wanted to see a side breakdown, but I don't know if there's going to be one. It's just spiral runs. This may just be spiral, but the idea is to break down. And you're seeing a quick example. Go into anything with John Smith in wrestling, you're going to be good. The guy is just pretty fantastic. So if we go back to our BJJ and understanding that, if you look at it, let's see if it's going to play. Boom. It's not. Oh, is it that? There he goes. So if you take that same wrestling mindset, and this guy right here is now on, look at that, crazy screen. Nope, sorry, wrong thing. Holy crap. There you go. Sorry, they tried. Oi! No, sorry. Remember that thing where somebody doesn't know how to use their computer very well? That's me.
What are you doing?
What are you doing? It's the same dumb mistake over and over and over. Eventually, you learn from it. So if you think this guy, just like wrestling, he's on the bottom position, and then this instructor down here, this guy has switched it and is doing the same thing where he's attacking the four pillars, the arms and the legs. Now this guy's down a little bit, but that doesn't really make much difference. Still, boom, it's creating torque in there, and that's kind of be some cool stuff. And I think there's there's a standing backflip at some point, and we'll talk about creating torque and moving through there a little bit more with Ian. Let me play through this one and move it. Let me move it a little bit to get it in frame better. Boom, hey, look, there's Ian too. Boom. Do we even want to listen to this guy?
No, there's not really any talking. It's just movement.
Oh, okay, good.
So you hadn't seen this either.
No, this is. I'm literally looking at like seeing what this is.
Yeah, you and I go through stuff like this all the time, and for this, it's apparently an air fryer ad. But once that ad is over, it's supposedly somebody from a head JKD school sparring an MMA dude, and it's on one end I do have respect for it because I like the way that they are transitioning energy and the way that they are playing. On the other end, from the guy who's a head instructor, it looks like he's just going straight up boxing.
Who's the head instructor? Do we know which guy is it?
Yeah, the guy on the left with the really short hair is a head instructor.
Is the JKD guy? Yeah,
that's the JKD guy.
Okay. And then the guy on the right is an MMA guy. Well, that makes me.
Yeah.
But it's not completely because he's got. I've heard the New York martial arts. I think those people are underneath. Maybe that's where they are. I think they're underneath or have some association with. Why are they sparring with a kid right there? Don't you love it when you blank on somebody's name entirely?
Are you talking about Jesse Glover?
No. It's he's second generation guy. He's in Idaho now. He's under Dan.
Oh, I don't know.
He's an old school guy. Feel dumb for forgetting. Look at my. It's good. Yeah, I mean, they seem to be just doing hands, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I got lost in trying to remember who the guy was, but I just want to look at this a little bit. So I don't know exactly what they're working, what they're coming into. He seems to be really confident with the hands low. I wouldn't fight with the hands low.
Yeah, you'll see he gets a lot of taps to the face from him just dropping his hands. And a lot of overconfidence here. The thing that I would like to see them working, because it's interesting because, in at least in RJKD, right, we're always thinking hit. And I would say that even though this guy is a head instructor, the MMA fighter has a massive amount of aggression that is looking to hit. Whereas for this guy, he's just kind of sitting in the pocket and dropping his hands and not taking his opponent seriously as a means of like, if you're sparring, you should be cultivating,
And is he? Well, I mean, is he? He could be coaching the guy. If he's coaching the guy through, that's one thing. If he's trying to draw out, like, hey, find this hit here. Hey, find this hit there. That might be it. But if he's sparring, it's in there. Now, I've always said I'm a lot more aggressive under Jerry Petit. I am probably the most aggressive in my posturing. I'm very forward. That comes from my wrestling background, I think, where I really want to come forward into it. And actually, this might be at the New York Academy. And figuring that out. So a lot of leading with the head and shoulders for me. Again, I don't know what they're doing, specifically what attributes they're training, so I can't speak to that. He's got pretty good distance in there, but maybe he's moving. I mean, this guy is MMA shredded, so he may be teaching him a bit more of the sort of sporty world. And he's got a really defensive posture. He's a really passive and allowing a lot of things to come in.
Yeah, you can see like something I've noticed is that he's attacking a lot of low line, and also he is trying to base out a lot by posting, lots of attacking low line. First.
Yeah, it actually looks. It also looks a lot like he is trying to give him some things like, hey, I'm coming in here. You've got to problem solve. You've got to problem solve. Yeah. Which is good, and that's always this thing to do. Well, I can't really kill me. All right, I gotta stop that. And I don't know if I put that in there, but I'll put it in there again if I.
And that's like I honestly think that's what a good instructor would do. Is if in the means of working on sparring, whether it be through sports or combat, is to work on somebody, give them pressure, and then give them an opening. I mean, that's what my black belt test was all about, right? Was through all those people that I had to fight, and was like, they were beating the crap out of me, and then they're like, here's an opening. Like, are you going to take it?
Yeah.
And finding that answer, right? Especially in something like combat, you might get socked, or you might get kicked to the floor, or you might just get beat up, but part of developing that aspect of spirit, at least for me anyways, is, well, what happens when you're already defeated? What happens when you're already, in a world of pain and you just want to you're just going to give up?
I think I recognize this guy. This is freaking insane. He's not.
This shouldn't be a back tuck tutorial. This should be, I sent you a different link. I think
this is standing
something else.
Back flip, back tuck.
No, I sent you a how to land snatch cannon, which is even crazier.
Then why did it go that one?
I don't know. I'm going to send this one to you again then.
Oh, okay. No, it's here. Maybe I clicked it. We know me. I'm not necessarily.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, we're on it. So let's get through this one. But which is kind of funny because the advertisement is doing all those things. It's resistance to create. Right. Everything in there.
So this is my buddy Ethan Turner. He's pretty much the best best tricker in the world right now. He's
not human.
He's fucking nuts.
Ian
I was there for that.
Ian will send me videos when I was there for that. Will send me videos, and my response is usually like, he's not human. That's not reality. Like, this person's an alien.
Yeah, I might actually be in that frame on where he's on the red floor.
So after this,
let me see.
oh, that's you right there.
Yeah, that's me.
I'm
right there.
I'm like, oh, I know. Yep, Adidas pants. Yep, that's you. Yeah, this guy is insane. I'm just jumping through.
Hey, Robert. Hey, Harry.
Oh,
so a snatch cannon is a double flip. You do a full twist on the way up, and then on the way down you back flip out. So it's a full in, but off of one foot. And it was first landed by some dude named Tim Farley, like way back in like 2015, I think. But since then, these young kids have kind of just like, what is the word? Like trivialized it, I guess, or like.
No, you know what I was talking about? I was teaching a class today, and I was just discussing this with sports and with so many things. The science goes forward, and we'll come back to that one with JKD in just a second. The science is coming forward, so you see people get there because they're building on the backs of everybody else. They're standing on the shoulders of the people before them. You see it in figure skating all the time. If you go back and look at 1940s or 1950s figure skating, and it's Olympic gold champion, that's like, you go see literal kids. You'll see like a 12-year-old doing that stuff because the coaching to be able to get you there, because someone has done a tutorial like this, someone has coached it into there, and firstly, so here's the thing. Nobody knows how to do it until you said when, like 2013,
2016. Yeah, it's a relatively new trick.
So 2016, someone's done it. That means that he gets to see it. Oh, that's possible. Now I get to figure out how to do it. And Ian, I know you did a ton where you did it, and the same thing. We're using figure skating as a thing. Who can do a triple axel? Who can do something there? And he's giving notes. Block hard there. Come through. You got to come. Chest.
Yeah. So what's interesting about his touchdown, the part where he pushes off his hand, is that his takeoff is actually a lot different than most people, because his body his leg is lifting straight up, but his body is already turned over toward the side. And so when he's taking off in that manner, you can see that he's going to push his hip forward, and that's what gives him not only a massive amount of twist potential, but also a crazy, crazy flip that's really fast. And it's like, this is one of those things that, like, you look at it and you're like, oh, based off of that, this seems like something everybody can do, but nobody twists like Ethan, which is really interesting.
I think what we're just discussing here is a really cool takeaway, is that so Ethan gets to see the potential that it happens, and then he does it, and he's sharing it so that other people can then grasp it. And then what happens is the pool of individuals who can do a thing, a movement, increases. But we're all individuals, and we're going to find individual expression of that. How do we shape that kinetic energy? Because our bodies are going to be different, because our life experience is going to be different. We have different things that come into it. So Ethan coming into it, like you just said, he's going to have a different takeoff, or a different post, or a different this. Everything is going to be uniquely him, even though it's similar to something else. But the more individuals who do that, they input, and it becomes exponential. So one person has it, and then they share it with 10 people, and then those 10 people take it, and they each get something a little bit different and unique, and then they share that. And then the overall wealth of knowledge keeps going out. And for me, that's really cool. And unfortunately, a little bit of politics in there. The JKD world doesn't do that.
Read in the first comment where it says, "It blows my mind that we have come to the days where Snatch Cannon has a tutorial."
Yeah.
Like, This trick is so
You're
hard.
pushing the sport. That should be hard.
It's fucking crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and then I agree with this person from the 99% of us that will never do Snatch Cannon. That's insane. And really, really pretty freaking awesome. I'm going to copy that, put it into the things down here.
Yeah, if you guys get the chance, go look up Ethan Turner either on Instagram or on YouTube or whatever. I think he's 21 and
That's insane.
He's just crazy.
I was going to ask how
Crazy.
old Ethan Turner like that?
Yeah.
Okay. Really, really, really kind of crazy stuff in there to go. Is there anything else that you want to put in for that?
Not for this one in particular. I think that it's just cool to look from that slow motion perspective. This is actually, his takeoff is something that I'm actually trying to work on perfecting myself. Can you go back to when he goes into, he does it from the floor?
From
This is something that you were even talking about. Yeah, right before here. So coming into that one.
Oops. All right.
So what's interesting about this is that on his lift, his right foot, because he twists to the right, but his right foot is going to be open towards the outside of his body. That helps him propel a little bit of extra twist in the takeoff. And if you were to look at something like mine, my foot, whenever I land, is actually pointed inwards, like I'm pigeon-toed. And that has been one of the hardest things to fix. And it's so
right
small,
there, he's coming over here. Yours is pointed more towards this person over here.
Inside. And so it closes my hips to be able to twist. But for
which
him,
is go ahead in.
Yeah, because his foot is a little bit out, his hips are going to be able to not only swing a little bit, they're going to be open to swing through, but they're also going to be open to twisting harder.
And it's the same idea of someone was just asking about that today for the University of Manitoba class I was teaching about turning with a kick. And I'm going to put something up about it because if he's turning, it allows your hip through here to be more open if you're continuing the rotation around. Because his foot's turned here, that allows it. If it's pointed over this way, then towards the windows, then as Ian was saying, you're closed off more. And that's kind of the cool thing of you start to see how there's an overlap for kicking, or which tricking goes into kicking, but flying through the air. And then you start grabbing information, and the more people do it, the more information and the more understanding we have. Right there, boom.
Right.
And so he's got a different takeoff trajectory than what Ian was saying. If this foot was pointed over there, this leg, his left leg swinging through, would be in a totally different feel. Yeah, I know you have something.
And look how his body is just straight up. Now he just has to point through his toes now in order for him to get his maximum efficiency. And actually, his posture is straight up, but his chest is a little bit forward because he's using that as a block.
Yeah, do you want to explain what a block is?
Yeah, so whenever you are running into something, if you leave your body in front of you, like let's say you're traveling forward and you were to do a front flip, you would put your feet in front of you like you were driving, or like you would be like stopping something with your legs. You're doing a leg press, because as you hit at that angle, it's going to send you straight up. And so if you're going from something backwards, then you want your feet behind you to where your chest is a little bit over your knees, because it helps you maximize your height. Whereas if your hips are behind your takeoff point, it's actually going to make it whippier and make you like flip really fast. So whenever you're doing a big trick, you want to do something called blocking as much as possible, because it's really going to set you up to really like perform the biggest tricks that require the most amount of air and power.
Okay. I just want to pull up another one and just go on this pretty quickly. So
yeah, but kind of like what Sifu Joel was saying, the thing with this is that, even though this trick is absolutely insane, this is called a shuriken cutter, it's still a double double spinning hook kick that you would, I guess, normally like categorize in something like Taekwondo. The only difference is he's in the air doing it sideways and kicking twice. But what we're hoping that people get from this is to understand the movement, so that way you start to see the similarities, because
This is if you want to look at
movement.
movement, I think just look at movement. I think he has got a great channel. Wow, this is such a great video. Can I put a like on there?
So that is a Bay Area hustle team. That's their whole organization. He just represents part of it.
Yeah, but this is such a great tutorial because man, he's jumping through and doing this unreal thing, and then they shoot it in multiple directions, and then I love this cool wow.
Yeah, his extension is incredible. And what's crazy is he's like 5'5", but his legs look like he's a giant.
Because they give you in all these different directions, so they're going to change that right here. So watch his right foot. That is just insane. Right here it is. 1, 2. Wow, that is pretty freaking phenomenal. Let's go into because that's not what you want to do. Do we want to look at this?
We can skip the scan. We can skip the standing back tub because that was an accident.
Yeah, we don't know.
But this one is interesting.
Hold on, let me put the shuriken cutter because it's just cool. It's just really that was a really well done video of a phenomenal movement. So that's really cool. Grill punch. I don't know. We'll see this one.
And I just thought this one would be fun because it's interesting when you watch people hit this, especially that people that usually don't have training. But I think that it's good and important to not only look at people that are better than you and doing amazing things, but also looking at people that don't have training and looking at how they move.
There's a really cool thing from Mark Rober on talking about games, and I think he covers this one of how to hit it, and it makes a little punchy thing that he puts in his arm to do it. So look up Mark Rober for punching, and he talks about this machine and how it works, and it's some little thing, gadgety. It's like a laser cutter. So it's not really how hard you hit it, it's how fast it's traveling at a specific point when you're cutting through a reader. Actually, it's through 2 points. Crap. Look up the video, Mark Rober. I'll put it in the thing for Mark Rober. If you haven't seen Mark Rober, then you could do it. Guys, he does cool videos. I think it's Mark with a C.
And if you guys can, if you're enjoying this video, please do us a favor and drop us a like, and I don't know, come back and visit us again because we'll be doing this more often now that Seafood Joel's getting on his feet with.
Now that I've figured out what the heck is happening. Does anybody?
Yeah.
So we got a couple people on there. If you have anything that you'd want to see, you've got a video. You're like, hey, can you show me this video? Pop it into the message there, and then we'd love to pop it up and see what it is, and go through with everything.
Yeah, if links don't work, then what you can do is just copy the edge of the handle. So it'll say V equals or the /watch thing, I would say. So I'm just going to give you an example here. I'm going to post through my own channel here, but hold on one second.
Yeah, I want to see some. So there's a lot of really great people out there. So as I've got up here, John Smith. Here he is back. This is back when I was.
Yeah, you can just post something like this, which is on YouTube, and then we can just copy that into the YouTube thing, because I don't think that YouTube links work. At least they don't work whenever I do live streaming. So
yeah, there's John Smith coming into it, and the thing I just want to say is when you find somebody, what we're trying to do, at least on our own level, everybody, is share knowledge, and when you get somebody, whoever it is, and they're sharing, whether it's Ethan sharing something through his group, you get John Smith. There's a ton of wrestling ones out there. Someone doing it for sports, someone doing it for how to take off, how to do anything, and they're sharing that information. It's just information, and it's helping you understand the biophysics that apply to us and our world. That's the cool thing, and that's what excites me about it. So this was more of a test run for Ian and I to do, and big tutorial for me. There it came
that
up.
works. Okay.
Okay.
No. So links don't work, and so the way that we have to do this is to just copy the unique code at the end. So it will say like v equals something, and then if you want to post something, then you can just copy that.
How do I put that in here?
Or yeah. So I just did your channel no. So what you would do is you would go to the actual youtube.com up there. And then you see how it says equals something.
Oh, no.
No. You copy, you pasted the whole thing. So go back.
So I'm up here. Boom. Oh, you just changed that part?
Yeah, just that part. Because for some reason, like I said, YouTube just doesn't allow external links. And then that should take us to you, I believe.
Oh,
Yeah.
look at that. That's me.
So if you guys, if you all want to post that, or if you are watching this, you can leave in the comments section. That's definitely doable as well, and we can take a look at it in the future. Or you can tell us to look something up as long as it's on YouTube. But if you're wanting to kind of have us take a look at things and kind of give a critical eye on it, then we're more than happy to. We do this outside of streaming all the time.
Yeah, Ian and I, and Harry knows this too, like, and anybody who's ever in class with me, like, I just geek out. Someone's asking me in the class today, it's a beginner class, and I just started going off. If you're like this channel, that's what we try to do, which is sharing knowledge. And if you should be able to see here. Come on, go down. We're doing, here's a quick little thing in there. 3 problems. I thought this one was actually my favorite one, the lotion one. If you're, that's a quick one to hear, not live, videos. If you do this one with Ed, that one's really awesome. And it's really fantastic. They all are. All of the interview with an artist are. But the one with Ed is really fantastic. And here I'm talking with Saz. He's a ballet dancer. And why? Because we geek out on talking about movement and working through there. So check out our channel. Let us know things that you want to go through and figure out. And we'll do this again, hopefully better though. There's a lot of things that I just didn't do very well.
I think you did fine. There's always some technical hurdles to get over.
Yeah.
What I was going to say to everybody is, we have a masterclass or like a program that's available on Sifu Joel's website at evolutionjkd.com. You can check on the website, or you can check on our channel or in the description. Mm-hmm. The other thing is that we would like to know if you want to see something specific about JKD that Sifu Joel or myself can cover. Also, another thing is if you can share this video and or like share our videos in general. We're really working hard to try to get Sifu Joel's channel monetized, and this really racks up with watch time and hours and stuff. So even if you leave this on repeat or something, or if you get some people to check this out, we're trying to build our online community, and we welcome you to do that, and hopefully like have some positivity and like positive conversations about movement and martial arts as a whole, as opposed to
Absolutely. I am going down next week, and I'm going to be in New Orleans with one of my instructors. And I always love to quote Chadwick, because he always says movement is movement is movement. And Ian's been around us when years ago when we were in Oklahoma together. And Chadwick and I just geek out. We just start talking and just going through stuff. And then it just kind of floats all over the place, because it's movement, and we just like discussing it. It's like talking about your favorite song.
Yo, thanks, Morgan. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Morgan.
And if you guys get the chance, go look up Sensei Chadwick. I mean, that guy is, he's like, I always thought that like Master Roshi didn't exist. I think that's like one of the best ways I can describe it. But he's an old guy that is just absolutely terrifying. The way he moves, and when his body wakes up, I swear Master Roshi couldn't put it better. But yeah, we've got tons of resources for you all and things, and we really want to help and put a good word out there, not only for JKD, but for just good movement and like raising the consciousness of looking at exploring movement and martial arts mechanics and shaping energy as a whole.
Should be enough.
And we think that with a little bit of help, you guys can help us get there too, and we can all grow from it.
That's us doing one. Where? Oh, right there, Chadwick. So if you want to check out this, I'm gonna go see him next weekend. I'll put that one down in there so you can have it, everybody. Really, just it's not even about me or Ian. It's about the information and the cool stuff that's out there. Like, I geek out because so many other people have so much cool information. I'm just trying to share that really great stuff. And I, as a martial artist, have seen some of it be at a lower level and be sort of pushed out there as, we're the most amazing, you know, and I'm like, whoa, hold on. I know some people who do this better than you, or who have such a great insight about something that is phenomenal that I just want to share that. And all of my information comes from somebody else. And yes, I have my own exploration, but it's just supposed to be passed on. And I get better by exploring with you. I mean, Ian and I, we do all this discussion all the time because we were both growing and feeding off of each other and passing it back and forth. So I'm all good for today. I'm gonna go have fun. Pick up my daughter from her grandparents' house, who has a buddy, and they're having a sleepover.
If you guys can, if it's not too much trouble, like the video, and that'd be awesome. And check out our other content, and we'll be back soon. We don't necessarily know yet, but we'll see how the stream does, and stay tuned. And the best way to figure out when we're going live again is to subscribe.
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome. And I put on notifications because sometimes I give a lot of notice, and sometimes Ian and I are juggling our schedules. So if you get a notification, I know it seems kind of antiquated, but if you put a notification up, I don't post that much stuff. So you're not going to get like 3 or 4 notifications a day. It's just not going to happen. But it would say, oh, hey, here's a thing coming up. Oh, great. I get to know about it. So cool. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
And we'll see you next time. I got to figure out how to stop this.
Just go to stop stream on OBS.
Ooh.